Hi everyone, welcome to Board of Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is a double shot of Tier 8 action. This one firstly features the IS6 as I start to clean up my 9.17.1 replays. This is an IS6. Who said the IS6 was dead? This one sent to me by Beau from Tim Clan. Of course, Beau has his own YouTube channel, which I'll link in the video description below. I encourage you to check it out. Very entertaining guy. Now this time he's on Hemelsdorf, I think, Winter Hemelsdorf in the IS6, and this will demonstrate that the IS6 isn't quite so bad as what people say. But I mean, we all know that it's been power crept a little bit by the new Defender and the Object 252U as he ricochets a T26E4. Of course, the IS6, the premium tank with preferential matchmaking, 390 average damage, only 175 penetration though with standard rounds. APCR gives you 217, which is 217 isn't massive, but you can bounce shots all day and you're never going to not penetrate an SU-100Y, the box tank. But of course that SU-100Y did put a nice shell into Beau from Tim Clan in his IS6. He bounces the T26E4, bounces the Tiger 1. He's only put one shot of damage in, but he's bounced 720 hit points of damage, and he's not switching to APCR, continuing with standard rounds as he picks up the kill on the Tier 6 premium Russian tank destroyer and starts moving forward with his strong Russian armour. 2-all the score on Winter Hemelsdorf as he picks up his second kill, getting rid of the VK2801K. It's a very handy spot for a light tank to go, as long as he can avoid what Beau just did. You can often light up all the heavy tanks that are sort of pushing from this direction as he ducks back into cover from the T26E4. T26E4 down to 890 hit points. There's 330 of them, 433 of them, which pretty much takes away half of his remaining health. 3-4 the score. He's got 2 kills. He'd love another one. Doesn't penetrate that shot, sticking with armor piercing rounds against a heavily armored American medium tank, the Super Pershing, the T26E4, and that might do it. Oh, takes him down to 41 hit points, takes a shot in return though, but he's still on 882 health. You can see a lot of enemy tanks up on this hill, and they're even starting to flank him, so he needs to be a little bit careful here. He spots the Lorraine. That's a nice soft juicy target, puts a shot into him for 394. Bounces a little Tier 6 medium tank from behind, and he's pretty much surrounded here. Bounces the MT25, puts a shot into the T3485, and he needs to get rid of him before he can do anything else, or even get rid of that Super Pershing. Looks like the Super Pershing is going to push on him. He starts moving around, takes out the T3485. They are capping. Friendly tanks are capping as well, so it's all happening on Winter Hemelsdorf. But that should be all she wrote for that Super Pershing. 4 kills, 2,706 hit points of damage, and he's blocked 1,140 as well. It's time to try and do something about that auto-loading French medium tank. Or no, he's going to go after the Tiger 1 by the looks of it. Tiger 1 on full health, but not anymore. There's 371 damage into the Tier 7 German heavy tank. Looks like that Lorraine 40 tons running havoc up in the north though, so he needs to probably do something about that. AMX-12T and the IS-2 pick up kills on the enemy side. And there's a shot. There's the Oho for you. This is just going to be beautiful. There's another 437 damage as he starts moving back. He wants to make sure these enemy tanks don't cap him. The IS-3 on the enemy cap circles on full health, so he can probably look after himself as Beau puts a shot into the Oho. Takes him down to a much more manageable level, and he probably thinks that ISU and the MT25 should be able to finish off that Japanese heavy tank. Looks like 2 tanks heading towards the cap now. 8-10 is the score as the IS-3 looks like he might be struggling on the other side of the map. He's copped a little bit of damage, but it's only from a Tier 6 and a Tier 7. You'd think he should be able to... He's going to have to hold his own now with the score on 9-11. Looks like the enemy tanks have stopped trying to cap out Beau side. As he comes around, he sees the AMX-12T. That'd be nice if he can land it. He does! Picks up his 5th kill and evens up the scoreboard yet again on Hemelsdorf. 4,197 hit points of damage, 1140 damage blocked. He's having an absolute ripper in his IS6. Who said the IS6 had been power crept out of the game? I guess it all depends who's driving it. Now that M44 will be feeling a bit nervous with that IS2. Last spotted just on the 3 line. And of course he's only got APCR rounds left now. Beau from Team Clan. He gets lit by the IS2. He'll be hoping artillery's not aiming his way, even though it's the FV304. And he's decided he's just going to push straight into these last 2 remaining heavy tanks, the IS-2 and the Tiger 1. Moving, it's going to go straight through the square in the middle here. A minute and 15 seconds before the IS-3A caps it out. The IS-3A puts a shot into the IS-2 by the looks of it. And of course they've reset the cap again. But so Beau wants to go and help his teammate. That Tiger 1 and the IS-2 will both be looking firmly towards the IS-3A. So he needs to get this Russian gun working. Take some health off that Tiger 1, which he does, and the IS-3 does the right thing and picks up the kill on the IS-2. Keep rolling forward. He wants to kill him before the IS-3 gets killed, but he doesn't. The IS-3 having a good game as well on 5 kills, and they could both get top guns here if they can share these kills. Beau from Team Clan and his IS-6 cops a shot from artillery, turns that way just to see where he thinks it might be, pings it, lets his teammates know that's where artillery is, damages the M4A3E2, and he might just ram kill him here. He does, picks up the top gun, and it's just artillery left. And again he looks at the direction where it came from, so he knows that he's probably up here. Waits for his tracks to repair because he's already used his repair kit. And typical artillery player kills himself. Crashed off the top of the hill, I'd say. Not a bad result for Beau from Team Clan. Again, don't forget to check out his YouTube channel. I will put a link in the video description. It's an Ace Tanker Mastery badge. Of course, he's got the Bruiser, Duelist, Fire for Effect medal as well, the Steel Wall for all that damage blocked, High Caliber, and the Top Gun for picking up 6 kills in his IS-6. And that shows how powerful the IS-6 can be when it's top tier. Those 2 Russian premium tanks having an absolute ripper. 1,459 base experience for Beau from Team Clan. He fired 19 shots, 18 hit, 15 did damage. The only ones that bounced were the ones against the Super Pershing early on from memory. 5,065 hit points of damage, a heap of damage blocked, and an absolute ripper. Look at those credits. We love premium tanks, especially combined with a premium account. You can often get games around about the 100,000 credit mark after tax. Not a bad result at all for Beau from Team Clan and his IS6 on Hemelsdorf. As we look at this second game of this double shot of Tier 8 action, this one features my old mate Dark Apprentice from Empire Clan. Dark Apprentice absolutely loves his IS-3, and in this game he's on Tundra. He's already got 1 mark of excellence on his gun barrel, and of course the IS-3, pretty popular choice for a tank for Tier 8 skirmishes, platoons and clan wars. And of course Empire pretty active in the Tier 8 and Tier 10 clan wars, and he'd be pretty happy about using this tank. Here we go, Dark Apprentice in his IS-3. Looks like he's going to go to the traditional place where heavy tanks do their business on Tundra. He does get lit. That's why you see a lot of people take the long way to this western flank, because a light tank or a medium tank could light you up from the centre part. But there's no artillery to worry about, so it's not... Normally that's why they do it, so artillery can get an early shot in the heavy tanks as they push the western flank. But it also lets the enemy team know how many tanks are going for this flank, as opposed to the hill, which is normally pretty heavily contested. Dark Apprentice going to a position where he can use these buildings and hills and undulations to his advantage, and hopefully get a little bit of... not a little bit, get a heap of damage into these enemy tanks. Gets lit again, just poking around this central western part of the map. Pulls back, so he doesn't know where he might get sniped from. Not all the enemy tanks have been lit. They could be absolutely anywhere. Spots a bulldog, and he makes the bulldog regret going around that way. Shoots him and lets him on fire for 493 hit points of damage. See, he's got that crew skill where you can see what's wrong with the enemy tanks, if they've got a dead driver or a broken gun or anything like that. 2-1 the score on Tundra, and you can see that these friendly tanks have really smashed the western flank as the Dark Apprentice focuses on this KV3, cops a shot from the RU-251, doesn't stop his focus though, gets right up behind the Tier 7 Russian heavy tank, puts a bit of ram damage into him, gets right next to him to really make it hard for any other enemy tanks to damage him. Picks up his first kill, getting rid of the KV3, and just looking around. You can see him looking around on the mini-map and around the area where he is, if you like, just to see where he can be most effective. And that AMX CDC, even though it's pretty quick, the IS-3's got pretty good armour, so he's hoping that he can bounce a few shots. You can see that the gunner's dead on the AMX CDC with that crew perk, as he sends a premium French medium tank back to the garage. That's his second kill. He's done 2,500 hit points of damage, and he wants to add to that score as he starts heading back towards the green flag, because that's where it all seems to be happening. The T-43's there, as well as the RU-251, and they're both pretty soft, juicy targets for the IS-3. He won't have any problem penetrating those tanks. The RU-251 kills the Patriot. Dark Apprentice kills the T-43. Cops a shot from the RU-251. Wants to be careful here. He's only on 274 health. Bounces a shot from the Russian light tank. Keeps his front towards the RU-251 to try and maximise the chance of bouncing a shot. And it looks like he just reloaded before the RU-251 and picked up his fourth kill. 8-9 the score now. 3,500 damage done from the Dark Apprentice from Empire Clan, his IS-3 on Tundra. And now looks like he's going to try and help these guys in the south clear out the T-49 artillery and the FOC, and maybe try and cap this out, the FCM 50 ton. Back at the base on 845 hit points. Hopefully he can stop the enemy tanks pushing through the northeast. Dark Apprentice gets spotted as he comes up, auto aims on the T-49, puts a big Russian shell into the side of the derpy American light tank. That made him run away. Brings his damage count up to nearly 4,000. He's only got 40 hit points himself though, so he needs to be careful. There's no artillery in this game. I think I mentioned there was earlier, as the Dark Apprentice picks up his fifth kill, taking out the premium Chinese medium tank, the T-34-3. Over 4,000 damage done now. We'll be looking at that E-75 thinking, I hope he shows me his side. But there's also a FOC over there on low health, and the IS-3 looks like he might be giving the FCM a little bit of grief. Go back to his point of view now, stop swinging the mouse around. 11 alls to score, 5 kills, 4,104 damage, and make that 6 kills. There's the top gun as he takes the E-75 out of the game. That's a handy one. No T-9s left on the enemy side, just a T-49, a 59 Patton, and an IS-3. Now the Patton and the IS-3 both last spotted in the north. Looks like the FCM is getting smashed by the IS-3 and the 58 Patton, and looks like they're both heading straight to the base. Dark Apprentice moving up towards the hill now. He's on 6 kills, 4,332 hit points of damage, and a little bit of damage blocked as well. Looks like he's doing everything himself here. The Object 252U looks like he might be coming up to join him. And Object 252U or the Emil 2, one of them needs to go back to the base and stop this cap. They've got 1 minute and 20 seconds to do it. 3 versus 3. 3 heavy tanks versus a heavy, a medium and a light tank. He's on 6 kills. He's just been lit by the T-49. He's pretty confident those other 2 tanks can't shoot him though from where he is. We'll be hoping that T-49 pokes around. The Object 252U is going to go from one side. T-49 retreats, and Dark Apprentice picks up his 7th kill of the game and brings his damage count up to 4,616. Both tanks capping now. 20 seconds before they cap it out. This would be an absolute heartbreaker if they do. The Emil 2 finally starts crossing the bridge. Is he going to get there in time? He's only got 10 seconds before they cap this one out. Dark Apprentice aims. He fires and misses with 6 seconds to go. on the cap. 3, 2. Will he reloading time? He's not going to. He gets his 8th kill, but the cap timer's gone off, and that IS3 left on 400 odd hit points. That was a heartbreaker. I really thought he would have won that one. Actually, I didn't, because I saw the result when he sent it to me, but that was an unbelievable game from the Dark Apprentice from Empire Clan. An ace tank, a mastery badge, Bruiser, Duelist, Fire for Effect, a Radley Walters for picking up those 8 kills. If only he had have landed that shot against the side of the IS3. High caliber and Top Gun. I mean, I'm not blaming the Dark Apprentice for that whatsoever. 4,809 hit points of damage, 8 kills. That's absolutely massive. Did well and truly more than anybody else on either side. I think that Emil too really should have moved forward before he did. And of course, this 252U, instead of going with the Dark Apprentice that hill, maybe he could have went directly for the base. But who knows? Hindsight is a wonderful thing. But the Dark Apprentice, let's not take anything away from him. He had a ripper of a game. 4,809 hit points of damage, 15 shots fired, 14 hit, and they all went through. The only shot he missed was the one that would have reset that cap and given him a pretty good chance of victory. But a heartbreaker of a defeat on Tundra, but a hell of a good game in the IS3. So there we go. 2 Tier 8 replays. The IS6 and the IS3 featuring Beau B from Tim and the Dark Apprentice in their Tier 8 Russian heavy tanks. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care and see you all next time.